Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Yes, so I'm a little bit back after the last days. There were really pain in the ass. Oh, sorry, can I say ass on YouTube? I'm not sure. However, just remove the ass. But it's pain. It was pain. It's still pain, as you know. My dad is still in the hospital, and my mom is, you can imagine, very nervous. And I have also a sister. Everyone wants to talk, and so on and so forth. So I'm limiting my time at the moment much more, to the private side, and limiting it more to everything that is related to crypto at the moment. However, I would like to use this chapter much more to talk about Phoenicia. And some of you know that Phoenicia is going to be the follow project of Inspocrypto and George Wegwitz. Some of you know George Wegwitz, that's a friend of mine, an awesome analyst, in particular, just specialized in option trading, equities, and volume profile, Wyckoff, and so on and so forth. So a really smart guy, and we both are going to launch Phoenicia. What is Phoenicia? Well, Phoenicia is going to be the crypto project. Why? Because it's going to be a big one. Let us start a little bit. I mean, we will start to release some informations. The Phoenicia Twitter account is already done, but not active yet. So we will start when I get the green light to release and to publish the roadmap for the next 2 years. So just to start, we will start with Phoenicia Hub, Phoenicia Academy, and afterwards we will go further with Phoenicia Finance. And the best thing is, before I start to explain what is Phoenicia Hub and so on and so forth, I have an IT company in Germany, and my CEO, we had a nice talk, and he can guarantee us that Phoenicia Hub and the basic of Phoenicia Academy will be done end of the year. Maybe it takes a little bit more for Phoenicia Academy, because Phoenicia Academy, it's, we need to introduce all tutorial videos and so on and so forth. But at the moment, we estimate to be done in January. So the Phoenicia Hub even before, so end of the year, and then afterwards, few weeks later, we will release the Phoenicia Academy. So what is the hub? What is the academy? That's a great question. Let me explain you. Phoenicia Hub is going to be the website where we will, introduce ourselves. So who is George Wegwitz, his background, and who is Inspocrypto. Also to introduce the CEO. And at the same time, we will also provide some informations in general, some informations about Phoenicia philosophy, vision, and goal. We will provide the roadmap there, so we will talk about what is going to happen with Phoenicia in the next few months and even the next 2 years. And that's it. That will be Phoenicia Hub. Of course, you can access Phoenicia Academy and Phoenicia Finance also directly on Phoenicia Hub then, or just directly to their own, because we will have 3 different domains, but connected to each other. Phoenicia Academy. What is Phoenicia Academy? Well, the idea behind is to create some such kind of market trading crypto school, university, college, however you want to call it. So we will provide there different tutorials how to learn to use and to trade options, futures, how to read different metric indicators, how to use my charts, bring much more informations about that in different tutorial videos and lessons. The whole Phoenicia Academy website will be connected on a Discord server for Phoenicia. So it's not going to be the Inspocrypto Discord server. We will have a separate Phoenicia Discord server. This one is going to be structured like a school. We will have different rooms. Of course, we will have a hall where we can meet us there and exchange informations, share charts, and so on and so forth. But if you, for example, are going to, because that's also something we are going to provide, is live workshops where George and also me, and sometimes only George and sometimes only me, will talk about, well, like, when you go to school, you have the teacher, he will explain you the theories, we will make some exercises, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be the whole academy. We will also introduce there and provide our daily analysis. At least for George, I know he is providing 3 times in a day an ad hoc report about SPY, options, gamma, to see limitations, and so on and so forth. And I will provide also more information, not only a full analysis per day, but also provide ad hoc reports around metrics and crypto in general. So the whole academy part is going to be like a school where we will talk and show you how to trade, how to see and to interpret different indicators, and so on and so forth. It's going to be a huge work, but also a very amazing project. And then we will launch Phoenicia Finance. So I'm not going too deep in detail. I just can tell you, even on Academy, we will bring some features that's really, really cool. Really cool. Just mentioning one, virtual reality. But however, don't let us talk about metaverse now. Let us talk about Phoenicia Finance. And the name tells you Phoenicia Finance. What's Phoenicia Finance? Well, Phoenicia Finance will cover everything related to crypto and finance. Means DeFi, DEX, decentralized exchange, and so on and so forth. Only available for members. Okay, so it doesn't mean you have to pay something. You need a fixed subscription, but you need to be member of Phoenicia. Otherwise, you can't have access to that. And that it's also part of the regulation context, as you can imagine, but I'm not going to talk in detail now why we are doing something and so on and so forth. I just can tell you that we want to create, that sounds very high now, but the biggest crypto project in general. We will provide you the informations. We will and give you all tools you need. We are talking and negotiating right now with different companies. They are very interested, to give us their futures and to provide this kind of services also on Phoenicia directly. So you will have just one app where you can have everything. Analysis, you can trade, you can stake, you can make absolutely everything. So it will take time. That's not going to happen in 6 months. It's not going to happen in 1 year. It will take time, because time is something I prefer to make things very well. And if it takes more time, then it takes more time. But I just want to guarantee that your first experience is going to be a wonderful one. So that's the main thing. We will also initiate DAOs, so we will and give our members the opportunity to create the community they want to have. So as you see, we have, and that's also part why I was very busy in the last few weeks, but we are starting right now. So, I mean, we have started already, but the big work is still ahead. I think it was time to tell you what we have in mind. We will release and publish the roadmap in detail. You will see what we are going to provide. And yeah, that's it. So we look forward to it. I hope you look forward to it. And I think it's going to be a very funny thing. As you, many of you know, I love crypto, and passion and crypto is one in my case. So another chapter of my life will start with Phoenicia, and I hope you will join that. I really hope that. That's it. That was just a little overview of what's going to happen in the next few months. Hub, social media with Phoenicia will be very active, and then the education part. That also means that all my members will shift from Substack to Phoenicia. Nothing big will change there. So we will shift you, of course, just with your agreement. Without agreement, it's not going to happen. And yeah, so we will talk, we will publish informations about that. And that's it. That was the part about Phoenicia and what we are going to make in the future. Now let us go forward and talk about what's going to happen with the market. So then let us go forward and check about wealth ratio and try to figure out what will be the next move of this market. So as you can see here, very clear, the wealth ratio is lifting up. I mean, even more than, well, not really even more. It's just stabilized a little bit, but as you can see here as well, it lifted up a little bit. So it's also indicating here that the wealth ratio at the moment is indicating that whales are preparing a big sell pressure, and that's what happened. Doesn't mean that we are going to crash to zero, or just, you know, just to make a big leg down. Because it seems that every time when I'm talking about, hey, we will go down, people are just yelling 10, 8, 4, $300. No, it just, the wealth ratio is, you know, it's very flexible. It just tells you that they are preparing a bigger sell pressure. It depends, of course, also what bulls will do with the sell pressure. If they have enough liquidity to absorb them, then you can imagine we'll have a rising volume, but the price will not go that big to the downside. So that's something you need to have in mind every time when I'm talking about the wealth ratio 30 days moving average is lifting up. Because right now we are, it seems, in a price range where some people don't want to let the price go much more to the downside. And that's something, it seems, it's fact. If we check, for example, here the wealth ratio 30 hours moving average, I can show you. And that's why I closed my long and just went not all in. With 50% of my funds, I'm shorting at the moment and not longing at the moment, so waiting a little bit until we are almost at 19k, then I will start to hedge, but at the moment it's not in my interest. So the weights ratio 30 hours moving average declined, lifted up to 90. And you know what that means. I have mentioned that so many times. Weights ratio 30 hours moving average that lifted up to 90 is critical. And well, that's where I started to short and to close my long, and afterwards we started to decline a little bit. That was for me, okay, we are ready to have now the impact to the price action. It took some time, but then they started, and now it seems like they want to lift up more. The question is, how far? If they want to go back to 90% and even above, whoa, then I think a big thing is going to happen. So indicating they will push, they want to push the price down as much as they can. But as you know, we will see. At the moment, the price is maintaining. At the same time, we can see that the stablecoin supply is declining even more. And the only thing is that the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges maintain there. The question is, I have also mentioned that and several times, when you see such a big pump in stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges, doesn't mean automatically that people are sending Bitcoin stablecoins to centralized exchanges, because centralized exchanges are noticing a lot of outflow related to stablecoins, so they need to refill, of course, because of the demand, their stablecoin reserves. And in my opinion, that's part of it. But however, I mean, anyway, it wasn't that big here, so it wasn't indicating we will go up to 25k or whatever. Yeah, that's it. You can see here we had a huge negative net flow just because of these 48,000 bitcoins outflows today. But to be honest, it's for me still unclear if this transaction was actually if that was valid or not. Maybe it's just an internal one, but that's something I really don't know yet. I didn't see any comment of CryptoQuant about that. I will check afterwards if CryptoQuant just did some statement to their Telegram channel they have. So we will see. So inflow and outflow activity. As mentioned today, afterwards nothing big happened. I mean, we received in the last 2 hours another 2,000 bitcoins, but the big one was actually here. That was this morning, where I tweeted about that we have received 8,800 bitcoins at once. It matched very well to the reduction of balances by entities, market maker entities. However, if we disable here a little bit, you can see that the inflows are lifting up. At the same time, and that was wondering me a little bit, we detected an outflow of 48,645 bitcoins. And that was a little bit strange, and I was wondering because that was big. It seems that was generated by Coinbase, but you know, when I see such a big outflow, I'm really very careful. Because sometimes that's just I didn't Wales alert didn't mention that. Yeah, I have on Telegram 3 different sources. Nobody mentioned this big 50k outflow. Only CryptoQuant, it seems. So I think it was an internal thing, but I really don't know. I mean, does that mean that's extremely bullish? Well, I mean, we know, and I'm also expecting a rally end of the year. So to buy right now, it makes sense. 48,000, it's a lot, but we don't know how long or how much time they were holding these bitcoins on the exchanges, for example. I really don't know. So however, 8,800 bitcoins, it's something where I say, yeah, okay, it could be internal as well, of course, but when I see that at the same time the market maker entities are reducing their balances by 20,000, we know that matches very well. So at the same time, here, for example, the outflows reduced a lot while bitcoins are coming in. Not big at all, at least not that big anymore. So as mentioned, 2,300 bitcoins in the last 2 hours. At the same time, and that's something, for example, we can see here, a lot of red lines. These lines are the outflows in stablecoins, indicating they were distributing all the time distributing. So yeah, they were distributing in that part, taking out all their stablecoins, and now they are done, and it seems they want just to look for the next step. We will see, because right now we have a lot of different support areas. If we want to go down until 19,000, so from 19,000 on, we need to be careful. So yeah, and that's it. Let us go forward. So, related to futures, what's happening here? Well, the funding rate lifted up, declined, and lifted up a lot. So, indicating there were demanding more longs, more longs, more longs, more longs, more longs, and now the price is declining. If we check open interest and at the same time leverage ratio, they went also up. That's the open interest, and now declining because they are liquidating longs as expected, and the leverage ratio this time not front running. So also very interesting in my opinion, indicating they started to long, short, whatever, just with less leverage. If we check, for example, stable coins related to derivative exchanges, yeah, well, of course, some big, I mean, that's here 150 millions that was this morning. Then here another 130 millions that was close before we started to go down. And here another 170 millions. And right now also 76 millions coming in. Also, if we check, for example, bitcoins to derivative exchanges, not big at all, not anymore. We had here a bigger outflow, indicating they took profit. It seems they were just longing and they knew, okay, that's it. We are here. We will go down afterwards. So let me take profit and goodbye. And right now just coming in some bitcoins, but it's not big at all. I mean, if we had checked that, the biggest today, 2,800 bitcoins. I mean, it's big, of course, but we had even bigger in the past with 10,000, 15,000, and so on and so forth. So if we check, for example, that's the net flow. If we show, we can see that just close before we started to dump, or to fall. No, even at the moment, they started, it seems, to send bitcoins to centralized exchanges, to derivative. Just, in my opinion, to short. But I really don't know that, if they are really shorting. However, the outflows are here also bigger than the inflows. So if we check that, you can see the leverage ratio and open interest both here just lifting up, right? That's what we see. Funding rate, that's the purple one. So let me show you. That's actually, okay, that's not possible. However, the purple one indicating here also that's an aggregated one, the funding rate lifting up. So indicating also they were demanding more longs than shorts. And the leverage ratio at the moment, at the same time, just pushing up. And the open interest as well. So as you see, that was closed before we started really to dump. That's from yesterday. So yeah, if we go to the 1 hour time frame, we can see now what's happening. Open interest declining, leverage ratio declining, and they are right now liquidating longs, but still not big at all. Not big at all. Absolutely not. They 200 bitcoins in just the last 2 hours. So I think the party is just beginning. That's just a warm up. Well, we'll see what's going to happen next. Well, Binance looking exactly the same. So funding rate, well, maintaining, it's reducing at the moment, but you know, when the price were have started to fall, they started to demand more longs once again. So they are really convinced we will go up. Maybe the whole thing is just a bird trap, and afterwards we will go up like hell. In my opinion, we will see what gamma and exchange walls and so on indicates. In my opinion, that's wrong. I guess, in my opinion, we will go down. So at the moment, that's what they are doing. So no, not big at all. That was just a few hours ago. I need to refresh that to see, because we had here 57 to 43 still in favor of longs. If we check now, wow. Okay, we are coming back once again, and that's what they are doing. I mean, people right now longing because, they are not dumping, so everything is fine. We will go up. It's just, you know, it was just a little correction or something. So 61 to 39. Okay. I mean, why not? Maybe I'm wrong. Otherwise, put your face, because the slap is going to be painful. Yeah, once again, Ethereum looks healthier, maybe because 57 to 43 instead of 61 to 39. But yeah, at least we are receiving also more shorts, but at the moment, more longs coming in. They are demanding more longs because everything looks so bullish at the moment. Okay, then let us go forward and check what the Kingfisher is showing us. Because someone told me, hey, look, at 20k, be careful, because it's a big liquidation cluster. So, of course, we always need to be extremely careful. Let me spin. Maybe I get the blue one. Give me a blue, give me not a red. Red wasn't part of my plan, to be honest. Okay, doesn't matter. Let us go forward and check. Whoa. Okay, that looks different. Even the volume of liquidations is declining. We had just last week 100 millions, now we have here 50 millions. But if we check, we have here a bigger cluster at 20k. And also, for example, longs waiting here. So yeah, 19k. We are very close to liquidate them. Very, very close. In my opinion, I don't know if that would make sense now to push up hard to 20k to liquidate them, or just to go a little bit more down. But in my opinion, it looks like 18,500. Here's a gap. So if they want to liquidate someone, 19,100, yeah, why not? Otherwise, we need to push down very hard, hitting 15,500. And we have a huge, well, compared related to the others, but a big, and that's the biggest one. Someone is shorting with low leverage, but a big one, really a big one. So let me show what the structure looks like. That's like a W. And that's like, I don't know. So we will check if FTX looks similar. Oops. And then we will know a little bit more. Yeah. The only difference here that this liquidation cluster here, 20K, is not that big, like for example this one at 19,250. But if I check that, also here liquidation reduced. We had just also last week, for example, 1,800, and now we have 1,200. I don't know if that's a big deal. So the difference, the gap between both, but however. So also here, I think 19,000. Yeah, we are almost at the price. It's showing here 19,450. It's, yeah, that's right. So to go down a little bit more to 19,150, just related to the liquidation cluster. Not sure if that's going to show us really the path, to be honest. That's it. Let us go forward. So what's happening here? Well, FTX at the moment not even following the price action. They are still distributing, so nothing happening at the moment. Only the aggregated is showing what is happening to the price action, but at least FTX is not buying it. It's absolutely not buying it. And that's Binance, and Binance is doing it. So they distributed also here, but they distributed right now. It looks like a little bit like a dead cat bounce. So we will see what's going to happen here next. To be honest, if we take a look to Bitfinex, look what Bitfinex is doing. Nothing, absolutely nothing. They distributed just before, but that's it. I mean, they are really not doing anything at the moment. And well, I mean, oh, Coinbase started to sell. That's interesting. I mean, that explains, of course, what happened. Even it wasn't that big. I mean, the CBD is indicating here 870. Well, I mean, that's a CBD of almost 500 Bitcoins. That's not that bad. Yeah, so Binance and Coinbase both selling, it seems, more than buying. Let us check what entities are doing. These guys lifting up. So retailers still very bullish on Bitcoin. These guys at the moment declining a little bit, but the trend is very clear. These guys not doing anything. They are just maintaining, stabilizing, absolutely not doing anything here. These guys here pushed up, so it seems they were buying the dip once again. These entities, the market maker, I have mentioned that, reduced their balances by 20K. And that's absolutely not bullish at all, in my opinion. So these guys, I have forecast that we need to be careful. Even if it looks like accumulation, I would wait. It's too early. And they confirmed once again it was too early. These guys wants to bring some pain to the market. If I check that, we were here at their balances was at 4,860,000. Then they accumulated a lot, almost 60,000 Bitcoins. At least their balances rise by 60,000. Then they started to reduce their balances once again while the price was lifting up by 30,000. And then they lifted up a little bit, and then it was yesterday we had there still 4,900,000, and now we have 4,870,000, indicating they reduced their balances almost 30,000 Bitcoin, so even more than expected. And that's usually not good at all. The problem also is those entities, mostly linked to centralized exchanges and OTCs and so on and so forth, are lifting up in balances, indicating entities, market makers reducing, sending to others like exchanges, means it's bullish. Like I said once, yeah, that's bullish. If you are just waiting for the train and you see the train is coming to you with a full speed, that's also bullish for a short term maybe. So Absolutely not. That's usually indicating they are preparing the next big move, price move, and it shouldn't be bullish. But, and we need also to be honest and say it looks very bearish, absolutely very bearish. Did I say bullish just before? I don't know. I sometimes very bearish. Well, it doesn't mean they nuke the market. I mean, these guys are distributing since a while. Distribution, if you want to distribute to maintain a price, because it's a strategy that you have, I don't know why you want to acquire miners or mining companies or whatever. Everything could be possible. We have seen what FTX did with Voyager and so on and so forth. So everything is possible. We don't know what is behind and what's happening behind the curtains. Only people like Sam, people like CSAT and other CEOs and so on and so forth, they are very well networked. And of course they talk each other. They know, I guess, very well what's happening. We don't know. We just see the consequences or the results and maybe the preparation of what they are doing. In my opinion, though, everything looks like they want to push the price again down, hitting 18,000. And we will see what's going to happen next. I mean, maybe the whole thing is to maintain this tiny trade range between 20k and 80k until November, and then let's go up only. You know, it's possible. We need to see. We are just trying to figure out what's happening here. Let us go forward and check what fund flows are indicating here, for example. Okay, yeah, as mentioned, the market maker sending more bitcoins, more bitcoins, more bitcoins. So it looks like, as mentioned, it's not looking very bullish at the moment. Absolutely not. Miners not doing anything, and even here, centralized exchanges absolutely not doing anything. The whole thing looks like they were triggered by OTCs after they triggered the pump, it seems. So the push up, now distributing, making money, hedge funds, whatever. Who is behind? Nobody knows exactly who is behind, but it looks like everything is very well prepared. That's it. Let us go forward. So that's Coinbase. What did we see here? Just, I mean, look that. Looks a little bit strange, to be honest. We can see that they were just here limiting the way up at 20,000, at 21, a lot of sell orders here. And at the same time, they are waiting at 18,500. But the most interesting part is here at 18k. So 18,500 is potentially our local bottom, but they want to be very sure. And they placed here a big wall at 18k. So it seems 80k could be once again to be our local bottom for today, tonight, until tomorrow. I really don't know. We need to see. But that's what Coinbase is doing at the moment. A lot of liquidity to the downside. Something, you know, I mean, no, it's not clear for me, because we also have sell orders here. It's not clear for me if what they are doing at the moment is mostly waiting to have more dips or just trying to prevent a big leg to the downside and to give signals like, well, if you want to push more down, then you're welcome. Deribit also here, they even reinforced a little bit this wall at 20k, and to the downside the next one will be at 18,700, but nothing changed since yesterday. Also here doing exactly the same like Coinbase, for example, at 18,300, otherwise at 18k and below of 17.6. where actually our current bottom of this year is still there, a lot of liquidity. So I can imagine 17.6 is going to be the bottom for 2022. Also meaning that we will go, I don't know, maybe in November to 17.6, retest that area, fail, then go up. They are removing now sell orders between 20,500 and 21, and that's it. They're limiting the way, but it's not big at all. It's Bitstamp, you know, but 20,000, and also here at the moment at 18.3. Binance. At Binance, it looks a little bit different. So they were limiting the way up, as mentioned also yesterday, 20k, even here 99, and so on and so forth. Also here, they just don't want, they want the current price. They want the current price. What they are doing here, because it looks very similar, it's to maintain the price stabilized here. That's what they are doing. Still a lot of sell orders here, also at 20,500. So to be honest, if I take a look here, also here taking into account 20k and 20,500, in my opinion, we will go here, and that's 18.5. So, and also here exactly the same, below 18,300 they start to bring more liquidity to prevent the worst case, it seems. Look, that's crazy. That's really crazy. So if we want to have you know, a big price action to the downside, it's absolutely necessary to push down very hard with a lot of Bitcoins. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Bitfinex Spot. Bitfinex Spot, also here not doing anything, absolutely not doing anything. Also trying with algos and spoofing and whatever. But 18.6. Once again, 18.6, and look here, a lot of liquidity waiting. I mean, compared or to Bitfinex, that's a lot. FTX perp, they removed to the upside and waiting here 17,700 at the moment. Too long, and to be honest, I don't see a lot here, so it seems, yeah, we have just a little bit more volume to the upside than to the downside, but nothing big. Also here 18.8, then here 18.5, and the next big one would be at 17.8. So OKEX Spot, also nothing happening. Kraken Spot, limiting the way up at 19.8, and they removed a lot of liquidity here, now at 18k waiting. Bybit, nothing. I like Bybit. BitMEX, nothing, absolutely nothing. Binance Futures, and that looks different. So also here, wow, they have much more liquidity here to the downside than to the upside. So all these waiting too long, and that's a lot. We had the same to, if you remember, we had that, look, they removed a lot of liquidity to the downside. Even here they are removing right now liquidity. They removed a lot of short orders here too at that area, and at the moment, yeah, it looks here they are much more longers than shorters. Yeah, absolutely, almost 20% more. Bitfinex perps, nothing. Kraken Futures, nothing. OKEX Futures, nothing. Only at 16.7 to the downside, but nothing. And last but not least, FTX Spot. And FTX Spot, just here at 14, but you know, I mean, let us reduce a little bit, then we can see a little bit more. 16.5 would be the next bigger one, where really we can see that here, that's for them at least, it seems a little bit their you know, pain level, where they say not below 16k, and that's it. I mean, even to the upside, limiting the way up at 20k and 20,600, waiting right now at almost 21, and right now here at 18,875, but nothing big at all, absolutely nothing big at all. So also here waiting at 17.8, you can see that. So, and also here 17.2. It wouldn't surprise me if they want to go a little bit more to the downside, maintain there, and maybe in November then, you know, make the last operation. That's it.